and iron I made of Carmichael.
Let me know when you start.
Oh, now.
Yo, what's up, man? You already know how it is. You know how it is. A little rusty. Yo, you already know how it is, man. Welcome to Views from the One podcast, man. It's been a long time. Had to take the hiatus, man. Had to get back to the fam. Had to chill. Had to be safe in this panoramic, plemethmone, all that stuff, man. Had to be safe. COVID's still out there. But you already know, man. We back, man. We back. And we also got visuals. So y'all looking at us and y'all like, dang, them some ugly niggas.
Well,
it's cool.
I'm gonna tell you this is what I'm gonna tell you.
That's cool. Like,
we got visuals. Whether or not we let you see them, that's you gonna wait and see.
you might see some highlights first, and then we probably thought the whole thing, man. Shout out to Kenny, man, for the visuals, man. But we back, Zach, bro. How you been, G?
Man, I've been old as fuck. I was sick as fuck last week. Yeah, I've been consistently, Zach. I can't say nothing else other than that.
Yeah, we just tried to record like last week.
Yeah,
had that little scare right there, man.
Yeah. So for those, well, no one knows because shit, I be quiet as fuck. But I got sick last week, and goddamn, I had to make sure it wasn't COVID because I work around people and kids. Shit, I see hella people on a daily basis. Well, whenever I leave the house, I'm bound to go around some setting where I'm gonna be surrounded by people. So to try to be safe and considerate of others,
Thanks.
I wanted to make sure that I was straight. So we didn't record last week like we originally planned, even though it was shit. How many weeks have we been absent from?
The whole month of January.
Whole month of January. It was some December too. I want to say probably 2 weeks that we didn't record in December. But whatever the case may be, one more week, I figured it wouldn't hurt, especially since we was trying to figure out how we wanted to, rebrand the pod and,
Facts.
go about our conversations. But anyway, I got tested for COVID last week.
Yeah.
Said I was negative.
Thank God.
You know what I'm saying? We always good on that.
Yeah.
Goddamn, give it up. But, yeah, so that's why we back now. Kenny, feel free to get you a bar stool over there because you're doing too much herking and jerking for me. And you in my home, let's not.
He was gyrating his hips.
Nah, he wasn't gyrating his hips. He was gyrating his knees, and that makes me even more uncomfortable.
Lucky guy.
Shout out Greg because I know your knees be hurting.
Man, yeah, man, and you already know, man, how it is, man. It's your boy booking this thing. It's your boy Zach, man. Zach, man, my brother, man. Happy that you're healthy. Happy that you didn't get it, man. COVID is real out there.
No, wait, who said I was healthy?
You got a point there. Hey, man, if you
I'm recovering.
COVID is real, man. Social distance, wash your hands, stay safe.
Protect the loved ones around you. Protect the ones that you don't love around you. Well, you know what? This is what I'm gonna tell you. If you really got an enemy that you're trying to get out the paint, and you cough on them niggas, I know where y'all
I'm about to say,
at
man, even if you got the antibodies or you've got the vaccine, still do all that junk. And if you plan on getting the vaccine or if you want to get the vaccine, look it up, man. Look up your local, what local pharmacies in your county got it. Make sure you don't have the antibodies. Just do your research, man. For real. Stay safe out there, man. COVID's real. Took too many lives. Too many real ones already passed away from it. And we don't want you to be one of those, especially if you listen to this, because we want to keep y'all healthy so y'all can listen to this pod.
For sure. I had a disagreement with my dad about that shit, but we might get into that later.
Yeah. Facts. You already know.
So one of the main things that I want to start off by saying is,
oh, my bad. I want to say, shout out Real Rebel Apparel. You already know how it is, man.
Real Rebel Apparel. Shout out Hey Black Girl Official.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it on me. Keep one of them on me. At this point, I don't really even buy regular clothes from the mall and shit anymore. I'm just gonna buy whatever
especially not in
my
this
niggas
goddamn
make.
Pandemic. Boy, I've been around all black ever since, though, for real. I mean, all black brands. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to say.
I ain't trying to step on your swag, bro. I ain't trying to get all black. Yeah,
shit. I've been in all black for some years at this point.
Facts.
Ever since South Pole was still popping, I've been in all
Colombiana?
All black. Nah, I ain't never stepped in them waters.
No,
just the South Pole. I should have stepped out of them waters sooner. No, I should have stepped out of them South Pole waters sooner, but I didn't. I'm ashamed to say it, but it is what it is.
But what you want to say though? Sorry about that.
Nah, you straight, bro. So me and Book were discussing how we wanted to go about, conducting the podcast, what we wanted to talk about, how we wanted to talk about certain topics. So I think I came up with the idea that it'd be more beneficial to talk about things from a more personal standpoint because anybody can talk about a topic, as it comes in like social media, like relevant topics to the world and shit like that. But I'd rather give y'all insight and talk about experiences, I've had or we've had in our 24 years of life. I feel like, most of our listeners are probably around our age or, may just want to understand how people in our generation or our age group think about things. So I think me and Book, probably more so Book, has a more guided answer, a probably better answer as to how to go about.
I don't know about that.
I say he's probably better than me in some aspects.
Nah.
In some aspects, but legit give y'all advice and insight about whatever. So if y'all want the goofy shit, like in the real world topics and shit that's happening, because we still do deep dives and all that stuff on Moral Bastards, feel free to go and check out the Moral Bastards podcast featuring the Anthony Glover. And if you just want to hear about us and, the way that we think about things, kind of views, because these are views from the one.
Facts. And trust me, I know y'all hearing this like, oh, dang, they just went serious on us. Like, nah, we still gonna have fun. We still gonna get the laughs in and stuff like that. But it's just gonna be on some stuff because we're gonna talk about things that you probably just don't hear as much. You know what I'm saying? Advice you don't like talk about as much. Stuff that people don't tell you.
Right.
So we later on, we still gonna talk. We still gonna have guests on. We still gonna have fun. We still gonna have like these dope topics. You already know, man, and give different insights. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely still gonna talk about stuff like mental health. You know what I'm saying? Some like stocks, things about like also like stuff like your personal finance, how to evade that, how to deal with family, stuff
We're gonna
like that.
show you how to grain $1,000.
Nah, no.
A band.
Cap. That's cap. No. But like still like, you know what I'm saying? Relationships. You know what I'm saying? Those things, it's still gonna be lighthearted, still gonna be fun. It ain't gonna be no self-help pod, but this is definitely gonna help someone out there for sure. And that's one of the things we wanted to do.
Right.
That's why we, you know what I'm saying, we want to help folks, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right. Hopefully by talking about our trials and tribulations or shit that we just handle on a daily basis, you might gain something from it, you might not, or you might just find it to be an entertaining story. Whatever the case may be, it is what it is. And if y'all ever have any questions or any topics that y'all want us to discuss, of course, feel free to comment on the pod when we post it on Twitter or Instagram, or just hit us up via email, whatever the fuck. We accessible as hell. Just hit us up.
And also, man, if you want to be on the pod, or you know what I'm saying, especially if you're from the one, you want to be on the pod, just hit us up. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure,
we open about this junk.
So let's see how we want to kick off today's episode.
You said you wanted to talk about childing.
Yeah, childing. I know a lot of times we talk about parenting and shit like that,
but you ain't kidding.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Not at this age. I'm adulting. But I've been having over the past few years, I've been having a lot of discussions with my parents to, kind of understand how I've become the person that I have become. And I guess you could say it might be due to me getting more into mental health because, I am in the Masters of Social Work program, and you got to be kind of introspective about things and just kind of understand how the mind works, be able to connect dots, shit like that. But so I had been having a couple conversations with my pops, and I didn't like the way that they was going because I feel like we was bumping heads a lot.
Yeah.
So today I decided to give him a call to, try to reconcile all that type of stuff because, hey man, life too short. My pop's 66.
Facts.
My mom 62. At this point, I don't really want to be bickering, going back and forth with my folks, especially since I'm a grown man. Like, I'm out on my own. It ain't really shit that we have to disagree about or we have to, argue about some shit like that. We can disagree on it and go on about our day, but I don't really want to argue with neither one of these niggas. You're too grown for all that. I don't like arguing with grown folk. Shit, barely like talking to grown folk, but hell, it is what it is. But, so one thing that he pointed out in the conversation today, because like I said, it was a conversation about the whole COVID stuff, because he was kind of harping on about you need to go get this shot and all this type of stuff, and yada. I got a difference of opinion on that because I don't want to be the first nigga to go out and go get some shit like that. I'd rather wait for some time before I go out and do stuff. But it just kind of felt like whenever my pops had something in his mind that he wants me and my brother to do, if it doesn't happen, he kind of get upset about it, or like you can feel it in his voice.
Yeah.
He, like just be like, oh hell, it go left a little bit. So from there, I was just like, I mean, pops, you can disagree and we be all right. Like it ain't got to turn to all that. And to him, he was just like, hey man, look, I ain't saying you gotta take my advice, none of that. All I'm saying is, look, when I was your age, I ain't had nobody that'll give me advice.
Yeah.
So, you know, me doing that, I guess in his mind, it's just like the fact that I'm doing this is the best that parenting can be. In his mind, I think that's what it means. I think. For me, that's not it. Because I feel like as a parent, you should try to take more time to understand your kids and really grasp what they're saying before you pass your judgment or formulate in your mind what you want to say back.
Yeah.
So after that, I started thinking about it. Like his father may not have been present, but I got mine. So when it comes to respects of how I communicate with my father, I guess I should just accept what he does say. Don't necessarily have to agree with it, but kind of accept it just to move past it, so to speak, so that me and him can have more peaceful conversations.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, he didn't have anybody else there. So for him, that is better. Well, to me, that's better than what he had, and I appreciate it, but it could be more. So I guess what I'm trying to get around to asking is so 10 years from now when you a father book,
Yeah.
how would you go about presenting advice and things of that nature to your kids?
Well, I definitely use experience as one of them things. I would say personally, of course, 10 years down the line, I don't know where I'd be at, of course. And if I am having to be a father, I would, when giving advice, I'll just try to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? I would just try to give my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I give my opinion. Oh, what you gonna say?
But no, that's like the thing though. Like when you say being a parent, I think a lot of people kind of misconstrue what it is to be a parent. Like everybody has different definitions. So my dad's definition is I was there. You like know who I am. I provide for you.
Yeah.
This type of stuff. So
yeah,
I was a parent. I did what I was supposed to do.
Oh, so what you was asking, like what would be like my definition of being a parent?
Yeah, like you could go from there and then go about how you would we'll kind of dive into methods of giving advice.
I would say definitely from that perspective, yes. I would definitely feel like providing, caring, physically and also emotionally. I feel like in a broad sense, that's being a parent. So fixing you a plate, like, you know what I'm saying, like giving you food, like, you know what I'm saying, having you in my house, like I just keep saying my house, but having you in my house. That
nigga ain't say letting you live. That nigga having you.
No,
nigga,
real
I
talk.
have you in
Put
my
a
home.
roof on your head, food in your belly, clothes on your back, OG 50 style, like
that
50,
sound like
60,
that,
70.
That sound like that Denzel Washington.
That sound like that Denzel. But I feel like that's half of it.
Okay.
The other half is also because mental is important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing all that for your physical health.
Okay.
Notice you also have mental health, which is just as important. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you have, just like your stomach, just like your legs, like your brain is so important. So listen to what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Listen to how you feel, being there for you. If you need a shoulder to cry on, whether you be a boy or a girl, like whether you my son or my daughter, like I'm gonna give you a shoulder to cry on, like, and also give you advice. Okay. So I feel like that's also part of the mental aspect of it, personally, because I would hate for you to go down a road where I saw probably other people go down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even I would say, so when it comes to just giving advice, I feel like I definitely, especially if I have some knowledge on it, definitely gonna say it.
Well, all right, let's come back to that because I was able to get back to another point that I wanted to kind of reiterate. So I was telling my dad, like, we butted heads more than I like to. And then he was like, hey, butted heads? What we butted heads on? And I was like, on this topic, on this topic, on this topic. Man, we ain't butt heads. What are you talking about? I ain't like, so I think that's like a difference of opinion and perspective, because for him, I guess, since he's there and we're able to have these conversations, it ain't really nothing bad coming out of it, no matter how much we might disagree or how tense shit can get. So for him, a disagreement and an argument really ain't shit. Like, I'm understanding that now. But to me, a disagreement and an argument is like, damn, man, like, I thought we were better than this. But to him, it's just, man, ain't nobody worry about that shit, man. Because
why you feel like he feels that way? You feel like he feels that way because he feels like a disagreement, like it's a disagreement and we just gonna move on from that. Like, I'm still your father, like you still my son, I still got nothing but love for you. Just because we disagree don't mean that we're butting heads. Like, do you think he look at it that way?
I feel like he looks at it from the perspective of, I wasn't even able to have these disagreements with my father. So the fact that we are able to have disagreements and have all this type of stuff, this is what parenting is. This is what it's going to be. And I guess in his head, it's okay, even if you never resolve any of that shit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because to him, it's just like, I leave it alone. We move on from it. It is what it is, yada, yada, yada. And that's that. And it's funny as fuck because it's... Cause
I feel like resolving is important though. Like,
that's the thing. For him, it's like, we ain't gotta resolve shit. Like, we'll leave it as is. If we disagreed on it, we ain't never gotta talk about that shit again. You call my phone another day, like, cause I called him today. I called him today and I was like, I ain't like how the other conversation went. He was like, well, hell, what
nigga said, all right.
No, he was like, man, what you talking about? What is it? Cause I approached my mom with the same type of rigmarole. On it. Like,
that's the name of the pot.
Rigmarole. But I approached her with the same type of conversations, like, Mom, when I was younger and you used to do this, and she'd be like, boy, what you talking about, man? Like, I might feel a way about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, to them, that shit don't really matter like that because we were able to get you to this point. So
you know what's crazy?
What?
Knowing you at one point, I want to say you were like that, but to a certain degree.
Elaborate.
Younger. Like, so we could probably like disagree on like something. And like, let's say for example, like let's say we just like we get to the point where like we yelling or like, you know what I'm saying? Like or it's heated or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I come back and just being like, yeah, bro, I wasn't trying to yell like that, bro. My apologies. You wouldn't even start that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd be like, man, go on swim with that shit.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, man, I want to apologize. No, actually, yeah. Like, or let's say, dang, because we know a partner. I ain't gonna say the name, but we know a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's say he'll say something crazy, but then come to me like, man, my bad, Zach. I didn't mean if I offended you.
Nah, that nigga still got my nerves with that shit.
It's funny that we already know who it is.
I know 100% who it is. That nigga still got on my nerves with that shit because for me, damn, okay, this is another epiphany moment. Good job, boy. Damn, all right. So we got one partner who might say some out the way shit to me sometimes, and then I'll just be like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then like I might, give the same energy back, and he'll be like, hey man, I was just playing, right? I'd be like, man, I don't give a fuck if you was playing or not. Like, it really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. We able to move on from this shit. And nigga be like, I love you, bro. Get your ass on somewhere, cause I ain't take this shit serious in the first place. But I think I feel like it's a different dynamic because with y'all, like my partners, I'm able to gauge what really matters in the grand scheme of thing and what doesn't. Like how much energy. Like me and you, we got into an argument about Jeremy Lin before.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a classic crew argument.
Classic.
Like Book and called me out my name and all this shit. This before y'all knew the Book y'all know now. This before y'all knew the Christian Casanova. I knew Book nasty. That shit up in there used to get rowdy. But
6 flow.
605. That was what a time.
What a time.
But yeah, like we could have those disagreements and it just be like, all right, well fuck it. We disagree about Jeremy Lin. And we go on about our business. Yeah. And Book might come back later like, hey man, my bad for calling you that name. I'd be like, oh, don't worry about it, nigga, cause I'm gonna definitely say some shit to you later on. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like with your parents, it's a difference because they don't really know you. Like, they know what you present to them. like I'm never gonna curse in front of my mom. At least not on purpose. I'm never gonna. I ain't gonna lie. I got lost rapping some Drake one time, and I said a couple things. She was just like, "Oh, I
You
see now.
acting
You done lost your
totally
mind.
different. You acting totally different.
You lost that bitch somewhere. You got to go back and get it,
Boy, you wild.
But yeah, but they'll never fully understand. Like I ain't gonna tell my parents too much about me having sex. None of the shit about me. The practices I do with.
We not shaming folk. Do talk to their parents about that.
For sure. It's
We're
just
not shaming.
Nah, y'all do what y'all do. If y'all comfortable enough to do that, hey, more power to you.
More power to you.
Me, I'm not saying nothing to them two niggas about none of that. Like my mama, shit you not. This is when I was still driving Shirley on a regular. She opened up the armrest because she was finna ride with me somewhere, and it had some condoms in the armrest. She was like, "But what that is?" I just looked at her. Condoms, and drove on off. Like I don't owe you no explanation for none of this shit. Yeah. This is before I was even outside. But like I just wanted, like, it is what it is. It is what you see. I don't really owe you. We ain't gotta dive into any of this.
Facts.
So yeah, okay. But with your parents, I think it's supposed to be a different dynamic. Like if I feel some type of way about something, there should be a point where you're able to come back and be like, well, my bad, or I apologize for that. And I don't think my parents are the type to do that. I feel like it's a lot of old head parents, black parents especially, who you gon' like, it's gonna be hard work trying to get an apology out of them for some shit that they did while raising you. Because in their head, they did the best they could, and they were the best parent to you that they could be.
And they made a lot of sacrifices.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not ashamed of any of that, but it still has to be a point where you're able to say, hey, I did my best, and maybe I did fall short in some areas. And it just is what it is. It's just like, I treat it like hooping. Kenny, how many turnovers did Fred VanVleet have last night? Don't matter. All right. See, that's the parenting shit that I'm talking about. So, no matter how much good you do, a couple mistakes still may have been made. So while you may have put up this amazing stat line in this amazing game that got your team a win, some mistakes still were made. Most niggas when they hooping, like, and a turnover get committed, they're gonna be like, my fault. They gonna come up to their partner like, my bad. That was a bad pass on my part. It's gonna be some shit like that. It's gonna be some accountability.
Facts.
But with parents, it's kind of just like well, shit, you ain't dead and you made it this far. Why we even gotta go back and worry about that? Well, because it still has some impact on me. Like,
do you think that has to do with the fact that you, when it comes to parents, when they're raising you, you make a lot of mistakes? Because I ain't gonna cap. Unless my mother told me to apologize when I was younger, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that good. You feel like that's part of it, and that kind of like that relationship builds. So let's say, for example, you kind of get out that whole kid face, tell them you're sorry. Or I need an apology out of you or something like that. But like, let's say when you get to about 13, even 10, like 10, 13, like when you make a mistake, unless it's like one of them like easy though, like my bad, or like, you know what I'm saying? Do you really,
well,
you feel like most of us, or most like 13, 14, 15 be saying like my bad, unless they trying to like genuine would say like my bad, like I'm sorry, like genuine, not the whole my bad, like seriously.
I mean, but even in the my bad, you can understand what type of my bad it is and all that type of shit, like especially amongst teenagers, like, cause I know me and Kenny probably used to goddamn squabble when we used to hoop and some shit like that, and if he was like, my bad for doing that shit, I'd be like that shit. Like, it was heartfelt. I understood where it came from because I knew I wasn't even finna get that most of the time.
But what about the genuine ones though? Like the ones where you can tell like the kid like, oh, I do apologize.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Kenny, he could give me a my bad, and I could tell like, okay, that shit is mad genuine. Because you can do it quick when it just be like, my bad.
Well, that's to your partner though. I'm talking about to your parents when you make a mistake.
Now, when I make a mistake, for the most part, when it came to my parents, we weren't raised that way to like. Because it wasn't too many times where I had to apologize to them, or it wasn't too many times that they apologized to me. And I think that's why I kind of...
that plays a part?
Definitely. That's why I harp on about it now, because like nowadays, I understand the importance of like apologizing for shit. Because like I'll probably say the thing that helped me out the most is just my interaction with women.
Uh-huh.
And because for the most part, when it came to niggas back in the G, I was pretty savage about shit. I'd be, man, fuck you. I ain't apologizing for nothing. Type of thing. You could be my partner. It just is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that later. I think that's a lot of guys.
For sure. But nowadays I put a lot of importance on apologizing to people. Like, because if I was wrong about something, whether it be oh my bad, my fault, or it be yo, I apologize for that because like this happened because of this, yada yada. I feel like it's important to go through that. Now, looking at my parents, I don't feel like I got a lot of that because they could do some shit that I feel like was unnecessary, or they could say something to me that I feel like may have been harsher than it had to be, or something that I just might want a slight apology for, and it just be like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And we might just disagree, and then we'll go for some hours without talking, and then they'll just be like, all right, so you gonna do this, or you want to watch TV? They just pretty much move past it. There ain't really no means to go back and revisit the conversation and try to resolve it. Yeah. That's the major thing. There's no resolving shit with them.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I think I'm more so focused on resolving things.
Do you feel like, and probably after this, we'll probably move on, but do you feel like, dang, I forgot my question. Oh, wait, hold up. I got it. Do you feel like part of it, dang, I really forgot that question. It was a good question too.
Damn, it's when it comes to conversations like this, exactly. it's probably one of the things you just gotta go ahead and throw out.
Do you feel like if they knew the importance of apologizing, do you feel like they would be willing to? Or the feeling of getting it resolved? You feel like do you feel like if it was brought to them, or if they understood like, dang, it is important to resolve, you think they would?
This is what I'm gonna tell you. Because I talk to these niggas now, and I try to tell them, hey, I feel some type of way about this because of this. Like, it's been a couple of conversations I didn't have with my mom where I was like, I want an apology. And she'd be like, apologize for what? Apologize for this. And then she like, boy, what I gotta apologize for? Because I feel some type of way about this. Nigga, apologize. I apologize to you for this. You can't apologize to me for this. I don't feel like I did nothing. You offended me. Apologize, please. And she's just like, well, I'm sorry. Shit. And
well, I'm gonna say, moving on to a broader subject, do you feel like when you do apologize, you feel like it should be like more of a for you thing, or is it for the other person when you apologize?
When I apologize, it's more so for the other person, because this is the way I imagine it.
Interesting.
When I apologize, it's not so much as to clear my conscience, because I can clear my conscience just by forgetting about it or moving on from it. It is what it is.
Interesting.
I would feel bad if I didn't resolve, like if I had an opportunity to resolve some type of conflict that person may have had with me, or some type of conflict that they may have had with themselves due to some actions that me and them had, and I didn't, give them that closure on that topic or whatever the case may be. Like if there was an opportunity for me to apologize because I did something wrong, even if they wronged me as well, I typically just be like, hey, my bad for this aspect and yada yada. Because at the end of the day, no matter what I say, it could come across as if like they could either receive it or they could reject it. And I'm okay with that. I know that before I even give my apology. Therefore, me saying it does little to nothing for me. Like, because I already know either way, me saying this could mean jack shit. But I'm going to do it with hopes that the benefit that it would mean something to them.
Really? So, okay, because I'm different. I ain't gonna count. I'm different. When I apologize, I do it for me because I know the importance of owning up to something. You know what I'm saying? I know the importance of owning up to something. And I guess you can also do it for them because I ain't gonna count. If you mess up and you apologize to someone, I personally believe that does nothing for them.
Well,
because like the mistake already happened.
All right.
My bad. I'm sorry. Doesn't erase the mistake.
All right.
Now, it's now some stuff can be different now because
I think most
moving like let's say for example like cause like a job, coworkers, even friends. If you mess up, or my bad or apology, still doesn't mean some form. Maybe kids and also significant other. That apology is important to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it actually shows like your heart in the matter.
right.
But I feel like even in then, I feel like that's even more important to own up to what you have if it's you're apologizing to like you're saying your child or your significant other.
So let me say this because I feel like that's an important topic. I feel like it's ways to apologize without owning up to what you did. Because a lot of people will apologize and just be like, "My bad," or "I'm sorry." It could be nonchalant, or it could be like they could really mean it. It could be genuine, but they still may not accept what they did or what they like.
You really think that's a real apology?
It's not a real apology, but that's what I'm saying. Like you got to give the full apology. So for me, even if I don't apologize for something, 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna own up for whatever I did do. If you tell me I did it, whether or not I want to apologize for it or whatever, that's a case by case scenario. Because, for instance, I guess you could go. I'm gonna keep going back to hooping just because it's the simplest
Nigger
thing. It's just the simplest thing to say. So,
a nigga.
so let's say we was on the same team, and well, nah. Let's say we were on different. Why?
I'm sorry.
Let's say we were on different teams, and you were guarding me in the post, or vice versa, and one of us elbowed the other one in the lip or some shit, and it burst. I could just be like, "Hey, man, that's a casualty of the game. Like shit like that happens." Because there's plenty of niggas who
it's gonna be another casualty of the game too.
Exactly, but it's plenty of niggas who will run shit that way.
Yeah,
and they'll just be like, "Hey, man, that shit happens. You just gotta deal with it."
Yeah.
That's me owning up to it.
Yeah, facts.
I didn't want to apologize for it because
are you really owning up to it though? If you say it,
yeah, no, it's because that's literally me saying, "Yeah, I did it," but then there's also me saying, "So what?"
Really?
It's a lot of niggas that function like that. It's a lot of people that function like that. They'll just be like, "Yeah, I did it."
Well, they don't say that, but I'm gonna say like saying that like casual game. But that's just one example. I feel what you're saying though.
Yeah, but I feel like you
that.
could put that amongst different aspects of life, and you're gonna have plenty of people that's just like, "Hey, man, it is what it is. What you gonna do about it?" Like, they not gonna necessarily sit there and apologize to you for it or apologize about it. Now, a nigga like me, if something like that happened while we was hooping, it's gonna be like, "My bad, bro." Like, I'm gonna walk out to the hallway with you, make sure that your shit ain't bleeding. I'll be like, "You need a napkin, bro." Like, it's genuine shit behind it. Like,
yeah.
And at that point, I'm doing that for you.
Yeah.
Because I could just sit there and just say, "Oh, my bad, bro." But if I ain't like,
but shoot, my lip already busted though, Zach.
Exactly. But now I'm going to do what I can to minimize me apologizing and the acts of care after that. Let's say that.
Okay. All right.
Me apologizing and the acts of care, because sometimes people could give an apology even when they didn't have to. Like, it could have been part of an agreement that y'all had for things to happen this way, and someone else be emotionally conflicted, and you just move on about it because you're like, "Well, shit, it is what it is. I told you what was finna happen, and that was what it was." But they still feel some type of way about it. If you went out of your way to go back and say, "You know what, I apologize for that because I didn't want to make you feel that way," it's still some power to that.
Yo, facts.
So in that aspect, it's more so for them than it is for you, because even though you're not necessarily wrong because everything was understood, it's still better for you to express that to them so that they don't feel some type of way or they feel somewhat at ease about it.
I would say I'm gonna write that down, man. Ask the followers, but for real, like, do you feel like apology is more for you or for the other person?
I think that's a valid question.
I think it's a real valid question, and and we can move on after apology after this. I know I said that twice already, but do you feel like apologies is also dependent on the outcome?
Elaborate. What you mean by that?
So,
what do you mean by outcome?
Do you feel like, let's say for example, something happened Let's say, for example, you told me not to do something, or we agreed not to do this, but I went ahead and did it, but they ended up causing no harm. You feel like I still should apologize? I feel like a lot of issues be happening like that.
For me, I'm one of those people, like the principle of it.
Uh-huh.
I'm a nigga that's big on principle. So if we agreed not to do something this way, or like we had a discussion that was like we shouldn't do it like this because this would happen,
Yeah.
and you went and did it anyway, I would like the apology just because I guess it's like a comforter or like a buffer to know that you won't do that shit again.
Really?
Yeah, like
That's
but
how you look at it?
I need to know it's like a genuine apology though, because if we agreed not to do this and you did it anyway, like let's say you tried to let's go back to hooping. I hate it. I hate it.
No, I
but
got
it's-
an example if you need another one.
Give me a better example.
Okay, so let's say, for example, we all let's do relationships.
Okay.
Let's say
I be trying not to get in a relationship shit. That should be stressing me out.
not real. I'm about to say this is
I mean,
quick.
my current old lady good. I want to keep it that way.
No, but let's say, for example, y'all get married and let's say y'all agree, like, hey, bro, we are going to sit on this budget. And we're gonna both like do this budget. Like, you know what I'm saying? But let's say you go out and you put it on a lotto that's going over your budget. But let's say your number get hit. Not saying that it's like the $1 million jackpot or something, but let's say you hit it for like 500. You feel like you still need to apologize to your lady?
Yeah.
I personally believe so.
I definitely feel like I owe her apology because we had an agreement and I already went against that.
Yeah.
Like it's like no matter what the outcome may have been, what we like agreed upon is what I was supposed to stick to. So if I go against what we agreed upon, I'm already in the wrong.
Yeah.
And
that's how I feel.
And
I'm with you.
It's one of those things where I could probably replace some money back without you even noticing it was gone. Because a lotto ticket with $14 if you buy two, some shit like that.
I don't know. I stay in Alabama.
Shame, but I seen niggas talking about it in the group message
Niggas be
one
going
day.
over there to Georgia, Mississippi.
I seen niggas talking about it in the group message one day. But
Florida.
Assuming that it's one of those things where I still should do it just because I did. It's me owning up to the fact that I did go against that. It brought about this result, but I want you to understand the reasoning that went into it. I want you to understand all that.
You feel like you should move going about looking for apologies though?
Yeah.
This is a separate question. You feel like you should go about expecting apologies?
No. I thought you said move on without like getting apologies. You shouldn't expect apologies about anything because if you expect an apology, eventually you're going to run into somebody who may never give them to you or some shit like that. It's probably best for you to just find closure within yourself and move on.
And I feel like that's why I feel like that. I feel like that is personally why. Because I feel like if you go about life expecting apologies, then an apology won't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie. Let's say, for example, I hate to go back to relationships. Or let's say, or even with anybody, if I have a disagreement or someone said out of line, like, of course, I'm not gonna be expecting an apology. But you know, if I get one, it's gonna be like, okay, that person thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I think I personally have not said out of my mouth. Well, actually, let me see.
If you get an apology unprovoked from somebody, I feel like you had a great day. Like even when I was talking about me getting that apology out of my mom, this shit ain't gonna hit the same because like I had to get it. Like I had to pull it out of her.
Yeah.
So it's basically pointless at that point. But you know.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like apologies are like just for you. You know what I'm saying? Like for the person. But we gonna see what the folks say, bro. I feel like it's a great topic.
I feel like it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But you know, everything comes down to perception at the end of the day. And, you know, perception dictates how you perceive your actions or how you perceive what other people say about you, all that type of shit.
Speaking about perception, this ain't even on the topic. We ain't talking about. We're going to say this for another day. But do you feel like, cause I understand a lot of people like to think about perception, how stuff looks. Do you feel like, because personally me, whenever we're doing a pod, whether it be views from the one, moral bastards, when I'm having a conversation with someone, because I feel like, or whenever I'm talking to someone about something, especially when it comes to people of different backgrounds, different beliefs, different morals, I feel like one thing that I'm going to hold up regardless, because we were talking about before the pod even started about like perception of right or wrong and stuff like that. I feel like there's a common evil.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say that, well, but that's a belief. But I think I would love to believe like wholeheartedly that there is a common evil, not in no goddamn like spiritual junk. No. Like killing.
Okay.
Taking money.
Okay.
Being deceitful.
Okay.
I think everybody would call that like like I'm not gonna call good. I'm not gonna call good bad, and I'm not gonna call bad good.
Right. Like I'd even go so far as to say like bullying is a common evil. Not like bullying between you and your partners, because that's some shit that y'all reciprocate to each other.
Yeah.
But like
making someone feel less than,
or attempting to make someone feel less than, like,
I'm with that.
because even when people, because I feel like there's some situations where people unprovoked will just start fucking with somebody, just because they feel some type of way about some other shit, or maybe they do feel some type of way towards that person, but it truly is unprovoked. Like that person did nothing to you to make you feel that way, and you just want to feel that way about it, so you go about doing things to try to fuck with that person's life.
Facts.
That I feel like that's evil as well.
So going back to the question about perception, I feel like of course perception is important, I would say, but I don't think it's not as important as just doing things that living up to the standards of like common good, like just doing things that's the common good, the right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have disagreements on a lot of stuff, but sometimes like it is playing right and wrong out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like because a lot of people care too much about perception. Personally, me, I feel like a lot of people care too much about perception. I feel like if you just doing right, wrong, you're not going to get, even if you're Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, like if you really do follow right and wrong, like if you follow like right, don't do wrong, you know what I'm saying? Good, not evil. Not saying that you're going to have a great life by any means. Life is life.
Yeah, shit gonna happen.
Stuff is going to happen.
Nigga.
But you are going to be, I want to say your righteous are going to be like straight in the sense of how people view you, because people worry about perception because they don't want to look bad in front of people. But I feel like if you follow simple right and don't avoid wrong, you're going to get viewed at. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the people who probably get focused on perception the most are probably the ones who are doing something that they probably have to call into question within themselves. Like if you constantly fishing for like positive attention or positive affirmations from other people and shit like that, are you doing something negative that makes you want to receive those? Is there something like, and this is aside from people who like suffer from issues like with anxiety or depression or something
definitely
like that.
Aside, because that's a struggle. That's a mental struggle. Yeah,
right, that's a mental struggle. But people
say
who,
if that's you, please don't. Don't.
People who don't suffer from stuff like that, who always want to be in the limelight, like receiving praise and all this type of stuff. Why do you want to receive that? You feel me? Like what type of actions are you placing on yourself that makes you view yourself in that way, to where you have to go outside of yourself to find positive, like a positive perception from someone else? Because a nigga like me, man, whenever somebody does tell me something like positive, it's genuinely one of those things that's like, oh shit, really? Like you caught me off guard with that. I wasn't expecting it. Like I'm glad to hear it, but at the end of the day, I was already content with who I was as a person.
Yeah,
like, cause shit, my old lady, I think she put that shit in good words. So I think she was like, it's hard to control how other people perceive you, because people gonna think whatever the fuck they want to think about you. At the end of the day, you can't control
facts. You can't.
What they gonna think about you, what they gonna say about you, none of that.
Facts.
But the only thing that you can control is how you perceive it. So going back to perceptions, what do you perceive from other people that you don't perceive within yourself? I guess
because I know we ain't gonna, like, especially on this pod, we ain't gonna talk about like current. we're not gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, like
Right.
how we
And
was.
we apologize if the shit all over the place for the first episode coming back.
Oh,
but-
trust me, we're gonna be straight. We're gonna be
Fuck it,
straight.
y'all.
No, real talk. But like, I feel like it's on topic because we're still gonna have this podcast like current, like up to date. That's the thing about it.
Right.
And with the times now, a lot of people was talking about Chloe and stuff like that. But going back to what we're gonna focus on,
This one I'm telling you, I leave Chloe Bailey alone.
yeah, leave her alone.
Leave her the fuck alone.
Because-
I would beat Kennard's ass if y'all say something else about Chloe Bailey.
No, huh? No, he's been respectful. He loved Chloe Bailey.
This for all the shit in the past for Kenny.
Oh, what? This nigga's shot in astonishment.
Because Kenny be giving me hell sometimes for no good reason. I love you, but yeah, that's just
And Kenny loves you, Chloe. Kenny loves you.
exactly.
But no, real talk, like, of course, like, you know what I'm
Help
saying?
yourself to some snacks, Kenny.
If you haven't noticed, like, Chloe has been showing out on the grams. By showing out, I mean,
Man.
she's been doing her thing on the grams. With the visuals been fire. She been showing out with the 5 visuals. But the thing about it was, of course, she was getting a lot of, which was wild, was definitely when you got, of course, when you get positive feedback, you're going to get negative feedback. And the negative feedback was very necessary. Almost like she was saying she was like attention getting and stuff like that. So people can have validation of her. And she had a video just explaining it. And it was like, no, like she was doing that for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was like liberating herself. And that's the thing. Personally, and that's why I feel like perception is not that important. Because mad folks was saying like, hey, like, yo, she's just doing this for attention. She's trying to show us like that. And they were hate. They were basically hating.
Niggas
They were
love
saying,
hating.
and they were hating. And that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? Men and women. Like, I didn't see too much men, but definitely women.
Hate.
They was just hating. And it was like, yo, like, she was doing this for herself. Like, she was in tears and stuff like that. And the fact that she righteous just said, like, I did this like for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And going back to what I said, she wasn't hurting nobody. All she did was she did a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She did a
But that-
thing. She wasn't hurting nobody. And I feel like that's one of the things where it's like, that should be a prime example. Because notice, like, right after that dropped, even before it dropped, people was on Chloe's side. After it dropped, people was on Chloe's side. Like, even harder. Like, if you just don't, like, freaking worry about perception, bro. Because, yeah, like, to a lot of people, and they were wrong, they feel like she was trying to do this to get attention. Nah, she was doing it for herself. She was enjoying, like, her body. You know what I'm saying?
I guess some of that goes to what you were saying about the common evil. Because I know it was some like women who would comment on Chloe and saying, look at her doing all this for this and that, like you trying to make her feel lesser than, she don't even know you. You don't really know her.
Right.
But you trying to make her feel lesser than for it to make yourself feel better.
Exactly.
That's some evil behavior, Chief.
Facts.
Like whether, like I feel like there's definitely a scale of like evil. Like this is evil. And this is evil.
Yeah, goddamn, yeah.
Like,
But that's
you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know, people on social media, they really do pride themselves on doing shit like that. And you pride yourself on bringing someone else down. Nah, that's evil.
Yeah.
That's some shit.
I can't wait till we get on social media. I feel like we got a good thing going with this pod, bro.
All right. Well then, yeah.
We gonna table that social media junk too, man.
Yeah, we'll get on
We
social
gonna
media.
keep it fresh, man. I promise y'all, man. Don't even think this finna be some self-help pod. Nothing like that. Our righteous. You
I don't know if I'm gonna help you.
I was about to say, you say you don't know it's gonna help. Our righteous gonna feel like, cause I ain't gonna, cause at the end of the day, and I feel like one thing about this pod we're gonna start doing too, righteous is, it's gonna be y'all pod. Like, of course, this is our pod, but it's gonna be
pod for the people.
Yeah, it's gonna be y'all pod. Like I said, we want y'all input. We want y'all to hit us up. We want y'all to want us to talk about stuff, not in the sense of like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like who? Because I ain't gonna lie, like, who are we? Like, you know what I'm saying, we just some young guys from the one. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
but this is for the people. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring people in too, and it's gonna be like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
we ain't gonna spit here just spitting out stuff like you should do this, you should do that. Nah, bro, who are we? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
like,
fine for the people,
shit,
man.
Like we regular people, but at the end of the day, I feel like regular people have great things to say too.
Facts.
Like they have a lot of insight. I'd rather talk to an OG on the streets than to talk to a celebrity who out here.
Depend on celebrity though.
Depending on the celebrity, I think I'd rather talk to an OG on the streets rather than Chris Brown. I say that.
I would love to talk to Fred Taylor.
I would enjoy it. Fred Taylor is a regular OG on the streets. That's who that nigga is.
I don't know, bro. Fred Taylor be living good, bro. I ain't gonna
Fred
lie.
Taylor live good, but I know the
amount of
this what
comfort
I'm
he
telling
has
you.
when he sits at that look.
If Fred Taylor was just on the streets walking, and some nigga was like, "Hey, you Fred Taylor?" Yeah, what about it? Like I don't like
me.
he a regular nigga, and shit, you made me forget my goddamn.
My bad, bro.
I had a quote from, I remember now. It was a fabulous song talking about perceptions.
You was my number one, but you ain't Derrick Rose.
No perception book.
You trying to make a point again?
Book stop.
Got you. Okay, I'm sorry.
He was gonna say, but you ain't Derrick Rose. Fabulous had it on Soul Tape 3 when he was like, I think he took the "Nothing Was the Same" beat, or "Everything Is the Same." Is I think what he named the song because it took Paris Morton 2 beat.
Gotcha.
But he was like, he had Buddy singing on the hook. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. They gonna sit around and judge you anyway.
Facts.
So you might as well do whatever the fuck make you happy at the end of the day.
That's not evil.
Please make sure that shit ain't evil. If you get happy out doing evil shit, you just evil at this point.
Evil.
Evil.
Every villain is lemon.
Your ass is a sourpuss.
Righteous.
So man, you should work on that.
Righteous. We had anything else to talk about, bro?
Perceptions. Did you want to touch on a topic that we were talking about beforehand? Speaking of perceptions.
Yeah. So personally me, I still don't know. All right, so I guess we can introduce it like this. So it was brought to my attention by a couple of friends I have, and I can legit call them friends. I can legit call them brothers. So it ain't like I was just getting this, you know what I'm saying, from some Rudy Poo niggas, you know what I'm saying? But like real talk, my brothers, and a couple of them was like, you know what I'm saying, Book, you do not. I hope I'm not like calling them wrong, but they said, Book, you don't like being wrong, and I was taken back. Just taken back. I would say me as of late, especially in college, later on in college, I definitely was a guy that looked back, especially because I was looking back and like from my junior perspective, and looking back what I did sophomore year, freshman year, high school. Because I feel like that's when you start making decisions on your own. I feel like that's when I started making decisions on my own as soon as I got a whip, as soon as I got a car. My mama old Honda, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. That junk got wrecked.
LOVE.
I cannot fail. Got in a car wreck, listen to that Love by Future Rihanna. Haven't heard it since, boy.
It's probably for the best.
Wasn't my fault though. But that's when I started making decisions for my own. And I want to say that, of course, a lot of people could attest. I made a lot of mistakes. And I took it and I ran with it though. You know what I'm saying? I took it and I ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Loss is a lesson. All that type of RIGGAMAROW. That encouragement, RIGGAMAROW. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So when they told me this, I was like, yo. Like I feel like I feel no ways with being wrong. Like, of course, I would hate to hurt someone. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to offend nobody. And I don't want nobody to feel less than with their opinion. But as far as like me being wrong, I feel like I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying?
So I think so with me, I feel like a lot of people would also like to say that I don't think I'm ever wrong and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm fine with people thinking that because at the end of the day, I can't change the way people perceive me. None of that. And at the end of the day, the shit that they probably think that I'm wrong about probably don't matter then. Don't matter. Yeah. So I'm fine with it. But I feel like what it is you're not so easily swayed to believe that you are wrong. Mm-hmm. Because whatever the case may be, someone literally has to sit there and show you, like, you're going to have to come with the facts. You're going to have to show me where I'm wrong at in order for me to admit that. After I've received that amount of information, I have no problem admitting, yeah, I'm wrong. But a lot of times people don't want to go through that to try to show to you that you are wrong. Mm-hmm. A lot of times people don't want to have to communicate X, Y, and Z to show you why something is the way that it is.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, people who are like that, I don't feel like a lot of times they are even fine with being wrong themselves. Like they probably would never admit that they're wrong or even entertain conversations where they could be wrong because they already don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll engage in any conversation without, any consideration as to if you're gonna be wrong or right about it.
Fact.
But people would have to persuade you that you are wrong in the end. And that makes a lot of people uneasy. And when they can't do it, they'll just say, you never want to admit that you're wrong. Did you bring enough evidence to me to suggest that I am? Like, you're going to have to convince me if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But, shit, I don't really think people should get a big boost from being able to
show people that they wrong.
Yeah, like.
Same. I feel it. I don't feel.
Because my actions are my actions, and I don't feel like you should get any satisfaction or you shouldn't really be judging my actions based off of what they are. Like, they affect you. Most of the times they affect the other person, no way, shape, or form who's trying to judge them. So why are you even involved in trying to say something about them?
Well, yeah, because I was with you, especially when you were saying the part about like showing. A lot of people like to like show you the reason. Okay, I'm wrong. Then show me why I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Off gate before. Because personally, I feel like before we even, and when I have disagreements with somebody, I feel like before that, even if I feel like I offend you, I'm definitely going to be like, I apologize for offending you. I ain't trying to offend you, not anger you, but seriously, like, I ain't trying to like go at your character, anything like that. But when you were saying that, I definitely feel like, yeah, of course, I agree with you there. I feel like I am definitely a person that, like, okay, yeah, tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah,
mainly mainly me. I just want to know why I'm wrong, so I won't do it again. I feel like that's why I'm cool with wanting to be wrong. Like, I wanted to know, like, okay, why am I wrong? But then you know what I'm saying, tell me why I'm wrong, so I won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So you won't do it again.
But most of the situations in which people would try to say you wrong about something, it's probably some shit that don't matter in the grand scheme of things. It was just a topic of conversation. Like, day in and day out, your moral fiber, like your character, most people hold it to a pretty high standard. That's why people fuck with you the way that they do. They'll come to talk to you they'll come to you for advice. They'll come like ask you questions about things. Me and you have had several conversations about.
Why you start laughing?
You
finna go back to hooping?
Nah, I'm not. I could.
Nah.
I could. But
we're saving that. We're gonna give you like a 3 hoop story limit.
Hey, the other ones were hypotheticals. I could give you actual stories.
I got you.
But I thought about another time me and you disagreed about so it was a way that you handle certain situations.
Yeah.
And I was saying, man, nigga, Book timid. And Book every time Book gonna be like, man, I'm not timid. I was just doing it this way. And it took us until this year to finally get to the point of saying, I view that as being timid, Book. And then you was like, and to me, that's not timid. So now we disagree, and we like that's our understanding.
Yeah,
we've finally got to that point after years. It's probably been 3-4 years since the last time that we've had a conversation like that. Well, we probably started those conversations 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and it took us up until like this past year getting to that point of understanding and communication to get that answer
that we're
out.
just not going to agree on it. Yeah,
right. But that's me and you.
Yeah.
We don't mind having conversations go back and forth like that all the time. I ain't gonna cap it sometimes where I'm like, I don't really want to get into that because that shit take a lot out of me. But me and you, we can have those conversations over years and it's not too exhausting to us and we'll get there and we won't get frustrated about the result of it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Other people, they not gonna see it that way. They're just gonna be like, I couldn't convince them that time. I might try one more time. I couldn't convince them that time. Fuck it. They'll never understand me. You never want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, shit, you only tried twice.
Well, yeah. And even with that, I really feel like I'm with you. I feel like everybody does that. I feel like that's everybody. So it's almost like so for the people that were telling me, like for my guys that were telling me, I'm like, I would like to go back and say you're the same way. Not saying in the fact that you don't like to be right. I mean, I'm sorry, you don't like to be wrong. But that's everybody. That's the disagreement. You know what I'm saying? That's just human interaction. Like,
but even in those type of interactions, when it's people like that, you typically can't say those same things back, because then it's just like you defensive and you just want to defend yourself.
Exactly.
No matter how much, no matter how much no matter how much truth may be in that statement to you, or in general.
And you know what's crazy? You know what happened? That when that was said, I didn't even say that. I didn't even say that. That didn't even run in my mind. You know, and that's why I kind of like now looking back at it, I'm like, nah, because you know what I did? When I heard that, I was like, huh? And I was asking, I was like, you feel that, bro? He was like, yeah, bro. You feel that way? Yeah, bro. I was like, what? I took back and I just, you know what I'm saying? I was quiet. I was like, okay, hell, hold that. And I just went back. I did self-reflecting. I asked you. I asked like, Marika, you know, my old lady. You know what I'm saying? I was asking other people. Like, I was like, yo, like, do I, you know, because these are people that see me every day and I don't want to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Not off a perception thing, but again, I don't want, you know what I'm saying, to, you know how it is just to talk to someone that don't want to admit they wrong?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. Not off a perception thing, but now you're stepping into, like, what if I actually need help? Like, what if I actually need some help? Now that person don't want to tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looked at as stubborn. Like you know what I'm saying? You can't tell stubborn people things. You know what I'm saying?
And
quote unquote.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, a lot of times it falls down to who it is that's communicating that to you. And I feel like it's more helpful to ask more questions about it.
Oh, yeah.
So the same way that you brought the conversation to me is fresh, it's new. I can offer a new perspective, and I can tell you what I have noticed about you over our what? How fucking long we been friends?
2000. Let's go
2013.
12.
So it's
Late
been
12, early 13.
So it's been like 8 or 9 years that we've been friends.
Yeah.
I want to say 9.
Nah.
Yeah, like 10th grade. Well, after 10th grade. So yeah, like 9 years. We've been friends for 9 years. Over the 9 years, I can tell you that it's like this. Like back in the day when we used to play 2K, I used to be like, "Look, I've given you several blowouts. Nigga, you ain't never blew me out in the game." Well, what do you define as a blowout? I think you was like 15 points or more. For me, I was like 10 points or more is a blowout.
Really? Oh, that dang, what?
In a 6-minute quarter game or 5-minute quarter game. Because to me, at
late
the
game
time,
filing.
if you want to throw the late game foul in there, as long as the shit get over 10, it was a blowout.
Man, yeah,
That was probably the way that I perceived it back then.
Yeah.
It could have been. It could have been 15.
We still disagree.
It's fine. It's fine. God. But we get to a point where we can disagree, or it could have been me beating you by 15, or I could have. You might not have counted it until it got to 15. I could have gotten it under 15, and I feel like it was a blowout. Like 10 to 15 is a blowout to me, and anything above that. But to you, you wasn't respecting it as a blowout until you got 15 and more.
Yeah, 15. You can go with a sweet spot of 14. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
But me and you were able to get to those types of agreements over time. I don't have an issue with leaving a conversation as is and not passing judgment about you based on that conversation.
Yeah.
We can revisit those multiple times. However, other people, if they can't convey their opinion to you to make you feel the way that they feel about something, they may get frustrated and therefore
feel like you're wrong, but it's just about opinions. Because I think that's another thing too. You can't tell people they're wrong, especially if it's about how they feel and something like that. You know
right. Or if you don't understand the full dynamic of what's going on, or if you're on the outside looking in, whatever the case may be. Like even now, I could be wrong about my opinion, saying that I don't think that you're a person who refuses to be wrong.
Yeah.
But that's to me. It's my perspective. You can't tell me I'm wrong about my perspective. You can have a different perspective.
What about how you feel?
Yeah, like that's on you. It's not up to me to judge.
We can close it on this because I think we all both established that you have your right to view how you want to feel and see things how you want to see things. But is there anything I can tell someone that they're wrong about? Is there anything you can tell someone that they're wrong about?
I feel like there are several things you can tell people that they're wrong about. But it's
definitely the common evil, common good stuff.
It's shit that fall into that common evil category. Like if it's things where you're severely inconveniencing someone else, whether it be mentally or physically or whatever the case may be, you could say some shit like that.
Yeah.
But if I'm living my life and something happens to inconvenience you, that ain't really my fault, Chief.
Yeah.
Like we could talk about it and try to get to a point of something, but or try to reach some type of agreement or compromise, but it ain't really my fault for
Facts.
how you feel.
Facts.
Especially if you don't communicate it to me in a way in which I will understand.
Facts.
So, yeah.
For sure.
You say I think I'm never wrong. It's my favorite part now. You know what? Maybe you're right. And that's the way I live now. Peace.
Peace.